What happens when the world's most outspoken billionaire admits that one of the boldest government experiments of the Trump era just wasn't worth it? Elon Musk has just delivered one of his most candid reversals yet, and it's sending shockwaves through politics, business, and Washington alike. Elon Musk is publicly distancing himself from one of the most controversial projects of Donald Trump's presidency, and he's doing it with striking bluntness. During an appearance on the Katie Miller podcast, Musk, who once led the Department of Government Efficiency, better known as D.O.G.E., was asked a simple but revealing question: would you do it again? His answer came quickly: I don't think so. That single sentence says a lot. Musk admitted the sweeping effort to slash federal agencies was only somewhat successful at best. Instead of reshaping Washington into a lean, efficient machine, he now says his time would have been better spent focusing on his own companies, rather than trying to reinvent the federal bureaucracy from the inside. This wasn't a passing comment or a joke. It was actually a rare moment of public honesty from a man who helped design, champion, and execute the project. And it's raising an uncomfortable question: what really happened when DOGE took a chainsaw to the federal government? When DOGE launched, it was sold as a bold solution to a familiar political problem: wasteful government. The promise was simple: cut the fat, slash inefficiencies, and save taxpayers billions. What followed was anything but simple. Entire federal agencies vanished in a matter of months. One of the most significant was the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, an organization that supported humanitarian aid, public health initiatives, and development programs across the globe. Stephanie Ruhle later summed it up with brutal clarity. DOGE didn't use a scalpel, it used a sledgehammer. Or, as she put it, a diamond-encrusted chainsaw. The effects were immediate. Thousands of federal employees were laid off, often with little warning. Agencies disappeared without clear transition plans. International aid organizations suddenly lost long-standing support overnight. Global partners were left scrambling, many with no backup options. At the time, critics warned the approach was reckless. They argued that dismantling institutions without careful planning would create more chaos than savings. Musk's comments now suggest those critics may have been right. Because despite the dramatic downsizing, the numbers didn't tell the story people were promised. According to Musk himself, the cuts barely made a dent in overall government spending. That admission is, honestly, just stunning. The very architect of the project is now acknowledging that, after all the layoffs, all the disruption, and all the global fallout, the financial impact was actually minimal. That's the key point, Ruhle noted. They didn't actually save that much money. And that's where DOGE becomes less of a success story and more of a cautionary tale. Efficiency isn't created by mass firings alone. Cutting agencies without strategy often leads to new problems, legal disputes, emergency spending, and operational gaps that end up costing more in the long run. In other words, destruction is easy. Sustainable reform is not. Musk's reflections also come after a very public fallout with Donald Trump. While the two have reportedly reconciled, this level of candid criticism suggests lingering discomfort over how the project unfolded, and there were consequences closer to home. During the height of the upheaval, several Musk-owned companies faced turbulence of their own. Sudden regulatory voids created confusion, delays, and, honestly, financial strain. While those companies eventually recovered, the disruption left its mark. Musk now seems to be acknowledging that trying to run a government like a Silicon Valley startup doesn't work the way he once believed. And that admission lands differently in today's political climate. Complaints about, bloated government remain powerful campaign talking points. Calls to slash spending still draw applause, but Musk's experience complicates that narrative. Here is someone who tried it, someone with immense resources, influence, and confidence, now saying the experiment wasn't worth it and that he wouldn't repeat it. For Americans who lost jobs, access to services, or international support because of DOGE, That realization may feel like too little, too late. But it also opens a conversation Washington has avoided for decades. Efficiency is not the same as elimination. Fiscal responsibility requires more than slogans, sound bites, and dramatic cuts. And, reform without planning often creates deeper, more expensive problems down the road. As Stephanie Ruhle put it, the irony is hard to ignore. The man who led the effort to evaluate government efficiency ended the effort by admitting it didn't accomplish much at all. More revelations may come, more reflections may follow, but this moment already stands out, because honestly, it's rare to hear someone so closely tied to a controversial policy publicly step back and say, this wasn't the answer. And that may be the most extraordinary part of all. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like the video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into politics, power, and the stories shaping our world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.